Hey everybody, it's the Boss Lady here, coming to you from my vehicle. Happy Sunday! It is Sunday. I'm gonna put on some chapstick right now. I was gonna put on some lip gloss, but chapstick it is. My hair definitely does not look like it did yesterday. It is what it is. I did not what do you call it, pin curl or flex rod, and I think what I need to do is flex rod on one side for sure, because that's the side that's definitely giving me an issue. But oh my god, where's the cap? So that's in the bottom of my purse right now, and I don't have time to be going through. Lord have mercy. I'm looking for, there we go. I'm looking for my lotion. I ain't looking for, Lord help. It's a little cool out right now. It actually did get to 60 yesterday for the funeral, but it was a cold 60. I mean, like, seriously, it was a cold 60. It was breezy, but I was fine in my clothes, you know, but that's because I had on that sweater dress too. So I decided to wear my red dress today, the one that looks like the black dress that I had on in the other video. First time wearing it, and I like it. Oh my gosh, I mean, it looks cute. It's kind of an orangey red though, and I kind of like more of a red. I like a candy apple, you know. I like something just popping, but I'll work with it for today. And it looks good underneath my black and white coat. Temperature is going up. I don't know if it's going to reach 60 today or not. See this piece right here? This piece right here, it's like, oh my God, it is not trying to do what it needs to do. Everything else is fine, but this piece is driving me. But whatever, we're just going to let it ride. Yeah, we're just going to let it ride. So we're going to head on to church and call it a day. Yeah, so I'm excited to go to church today. I did talk to my first lady briefly on text yesterday. She was not able to go to the rehearsal like she had planned to, but supposedly things were better per the report that she got. I'm like, I'm still gonna take my time. I'm not joining nothing. And you know, and I had confirmation even with my hairdresser. She said, you don't join nothing if you already see that there's a issue. So I'm like, yep. It'll be a while before they see me standing up front, because I'm not the one. I'm not the one to be embarrassed, and you definitely not gonna talk to me crazy. So we shall see about that. But I'm excited to go to church. There was someone at the funeral yesterday who actually knows the family. I guess he was like best friends with the lady's son who passed away back when my father passed away. My father passed away in February, and I want to say her son passed, let's see, Daddy passed with the 21st. And I think her son passed like right when we were coming back or something like that. It was sometime after, because I remember, oh my God, like what is going on? I remember when we came back from Daddy's funeral, we ended up going to the wake or whatever for the son. So anyway, his best friend goes to my church. So like, I'm sitting there, you know, and I look and I told my husband, I said, I know that man. He said, what man? I said, that man right there. I said, who is that? He was like, I don't know. You know, I don't know. And so when his best friend came over, I said, who is that man right there? And he said, oh, he's like a brother. You know, he was real good friends with my brother. He was, you know, his best friend. I said, he goes to my church. And he said, really? I said, yeah. There was a lot of people who knew, her name was Miss Frankie, who knew Miss Frankie that I definitely wasn't aware of, or who knows the family. Because like there was a mom that I knew from back in the day. Her daughter and my eldest daughter were like good friends, and come to find out, she's friends with Miss Frankie's daughter, who I used to be friends with. Y'all gotta keep up because it's a lot of tag teaming. But yeah, so her and her sister went to the service, and then my mom's good friend was there, but I think she knew Miss Frankie because Miss Frankie used to be a foster mom, and she's a foster mom. So oftentimes, especially in the black community here in Minneapolis, because there's not very many black foster homes, so they do become friends and run in the same circles and things. So she had came with her foster kids to pay respect. So I thought that was kind of cool or whatever, you know. So yeah, and then of course, you know, my husband's family was there, the ones who could make it because of her long-standing friendship with the family. So, but overall, the service was nice. Like I said in my last video, I was not accustomed to the whole everybody throw the dirt on that. We're not doing that. So anyway, I did do my nails. I got pink nails now, and I like them for now. We'll see how long they last when I go back to work. I didn't give you guys a big clip of the game because, one, I was with my boss, but two, it was just like, it was going so, look, I'm a true basketball head, okay? So I definitely had on my blue and white, Nikes, had on my blue and white shirt. I'm there, I'm rooting for, I'm clapping, I'm cheering, yeah. And I sat by the cheerleaders. So, and for those who used to be cheerleaders, my hat's off to you. But the cheerleaders of today just kind of reminds me of like the dance teams. It's not my thing. Because they was doing a whole lot of stuff, and I was like, ooh, okay. But you know, whatever entertains the crowd, I guess. I'm just not for the get along. I don't get along to get along type of person. So, and even my boss was like, woo, because it was some cheer they did, and she literally, like, my boss turned beet red. I was like, are you okay? She was like, yeah. She even talked to the advisor, like, you let them do this? I see, but that's what they like. And then some song came on. It was like, was it Timeout? I think we're in a timeout situation. And some song came on, and they was singing a song and this and that, and I was like, I'm not accustomed to this. And so my boss was like, huh? And I said, well, Miss Pina don't listen to this kind of music. She said she don't. I said, no, she does not. And I told her, I said, Miss Pina listens to like Frank Sinatra. She was like, what? She said, Miss Pina? I said, yes, Miss Pina. She likes Frank Sinatra, Old Blue Eyes. She was like, oh, okay. I'm like, look, we don't get down with that mess. But anyway, but you know, to each their own. I mean, because I know her sister listened to the song that was playing last night. Her sister listened to it. So, you know, but different era, different mindset, ways of thinking. More power to you. But the game was good, and we did win. Now, I'm not no coach. Just like I'm not the praise and worship leader. I stay in my lane. But I do recognize when there is issues. Case in point. So our boys are good. But, and same with our football team, I feel in my whole heart of hearts and my deep down in my shanana, okay, I feel like they set our boys up for unsuccess. And what I mean by that is, our boys are good. You know, the football team and basketball team, they're good. But they don't teach them how to fail. They don't teach them how to not win. And that's a problem. Because even though our boys won last night, they had this cockiness And it's like they weren't playing as a team. They were playing as individuals. I got the ball, so I'm going to run the ball. And so they doing all this fancy footwork and running and trying to woo, 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 and miss the basket. I find issue with that. I'm like, pass the ball. You know what I mean? So, but they, you know, they get to these, I would say the end results or close to the end result, and then they choke. And it's almost like, I have to bring in the NFL. It's almost like my Minnesota Vikings. Now, I'm not a Minnesota Vikings fan. Don't come for me. But what I mean by that is the Minnesota Vikings can get so far into the season and then they choke. Or they'll get so far in the game and then they choke. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, you getting cocky, and it's calm down. Calm down. So, because it was getting to the point where they was not playing, you know, I forgot what the play was, but they all was kind of like lined up with their opposing partner, and then next thing you know, I don't know, the opposite team was too close to our team, and so our team member pushes him. I'm like, see? And then he got called on it. And I said, that'll learn you. And cut that mess out. But, like I said, I'm not no coach. But I know when stuff ain't right. Now. And basketball, that's my jam. Now, football, y'all can have it all day. But basketball, baby, I'm right there. I'm running that ball and 3-pointers and 2-pointers and, you know, rebounds and hooey. I mean. And then that's the other thing, too. They kept fouling. And the more they would foul, our team, the more the other team would be able to go to the free throw line. And then, you know, they go into the free throw line and they're making the baskets. And I'm like, you know, you used to play in city ball. But if you want to get to a point of playing like professional ball, you can't be playing that street ball. I'm sorry. And the team that they were playing, they weren't from the city. Shoot, they was past the suburb. They was more rural. And them country boys, they're like, that's cute on the streets, but this is what we do on the court, type of thing. So they gotta get together. And one of my cousins is the coach. I'm like, dude, I'm going to need you to ring that in. I didn't say nothing to him last night because I know he was, you know, he was happy about his little win. But I'm just saying. So, anyway, I didn't bring a lot of water with me today. Got barely any in my cup. I'm going to stop at the gas station on the way home. But, anyway. But I'm excited for church. I'm super excited for church this morning. I did order me some little, call them like ballerina flats. Hopefully they don't cause me too much pain. I'm going to see how they do. They come in different colors. When I get them, I'm going to try them on, see, can I rock with them? Because I want to be able to rock with them, you know, for like spring, summer. I got to get me some sandals. I'm going to get the Birkenstocks because those work for me. I'm sorry, but they do. They may not be classy and whatever, dressy for dresses, but look. Okay. My feet gotta be comfortable. Especially when I'm standing up, sitting down, standing up. My back, because my back is still not right. And I notice with all the stuff going on at work, all my stress, it goes from my head past all the rest of this and settles in my back. Sure does. Is that my cousin? No, she should be here already. That's somebody else. No, that's not her. But yeah, so the stress has been settling in my back. And like even this morning, I got up and I was like, oh, I really need to call Doc and be like, I need to get in. I really do. So, going that other way that I go now to church, I missed the train completely, and it's 10:45, and I'm pulling up to church. Yeah, my cousin, she's already here. She is already here. So, I will definitely record the sermon today. And thank y'all for who'll be tuning in. It be good. It be good. I wonder who preaching today. Oh, I need to. That's what I need to do. I need to ask First Lady, who is the person? There's a lady who does the announcements for. She does the announcements on Youth Sunday and highlights the youth. And so I want to be able to give her the information. Even though everybody hasn't seen Miss Peanut yet, I still want my baby to be acknowledged. Because I think they're going to acknowledge them next Sunday. Because next Sunday is Friends and Family Sunday. Because we're doing Friends and Family next Sunday on Palm Sunday as opposed to on Easter Sunday. Because they know it's going to be a packed house on Easter Sunday. Child. Sometimes them be the days I don't be wanting to go. Because I'm like, you know, you're going to see that person again for a whole nother 6 months. But anyway, let me go figure out what I'm going to do. Get my seat with First Lady. And I will see y'all. This piece of hair right here, child. I keep trying to tuck it, right? But because it's curled, it don't want to. It's like it's curled, but it's straight. And it don't want to tuck. And I need it to tuck. I should have put a pin up there. I got a hairpin. But all right, let me go get my seat. Because, you know, them cheering. Last Sunday, them cheering. I might have to put First Lady on that end. She likes to sit on the one side because then she has direct eye contact with her husband. But baby, them kids last Sunday, I was like, ooh wee. The Ruthie in me was coming out. I explain to you who Ruthie is when I come back. Hey everybody, real quick. I'm waiting for the kids to get settled before I try to back out. But church was fabulous. I enjoyed myself. I actually saw some, I would say former church members from the church I grew up in. That was interesting enough. But I'm glad that the word is getting out there that my pastor is here and you know, we jamming. So, yeah, it was a great service. So, that's all I'm going to say this Sunday. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. And hope you enjoy our Pastor Emeritus sermon today.
His people and for breaking camp. When both trumpet sounds enter community is to assemble at the entrance of the tent of meeting or the tabernacle, which represents God's presence. We used to say in our church services, a song we used to sing said, "The presence of the Lord is here." We've taken that away from the house of the Lord for the sake of entertainment. We should always keep in mind that when we get here, this is a holy place. And the presence of the Lord is here.
That's right.
You don't have to ask him to come here. This is his dwelling place. So he's already here. God said to Moses, when you sound them, people will come, and then I will give you instructions. Well, to keep so many people in a tight formation requires clear communication and control. The trumpet blast also reminded Israel of God's protection over them.
All right.
We have to learn, or relearn, I should say. Some of us already know it because we're old enough to remember. We used to sing a song, and Pastor Spratt can attest to this. We used to sing a song that said, "I still remember." I believe Brother Lonnie Goodman and the Red Rose Singers used to sing, "I still remember what you've done for me." sometimes I think we forget what God has already done. And then we start complaining about what he ought to be doing. Well, my children, I can talk about my children, I can talk about your children. If my children, when they were small, if they start complaining about what their mama had cooked, I'd let them know real quick. You don't want it? You ain't got to eat. You get hungry enough, you eat. Now, I didn't say that because I had not experienced it. Mama used to tell me that, but I was born in Missouri. You got to show me. She showed me. I thought I was going to starve to death that night. From that point on, I learned how to eat whatever was on the plate. Even if I didn't want it, I'd hold my nose and eat it anyway. Here Moses talking, or God talking to Moses, and he's telling him, this is what I need you to do. This is a wonderful picture of future events. The book of 1 Corinthians reveals in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. Now that sounds a little funny to some of us. But when you believe in Jesus Christ, you know that you are not here to stay forever. In a moment or a twinkling of an eye, you will be gone. And you need to be preparing before you leave. The Bible, if you take the word Bible and you spread it out, you do something with each letter, you'll find that Bible can be broken down like this. Basic instruction before leaving earth. The reason you don't know how to prepare for leaving, you haven't read the instructions. How many of you have tried to put something together, a piece of furniture, and didn't read the instructions? I'm guilty of it. I'll grab it and start putting it together, and I said, whoa, this don't look right. Now I got to go back, get the instruction, take this stuff loose that I done put together, and put it together right. I was putting together my computer table, and it seemed like to me the easy way to do this thing is to build it from the bottom up. But the instructions said, do it the opposite. Build it from the top down. It don't make no sense. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to build this thing from the top down. This thing will fall on my head. I read a little bit further. It said, lay it down and assemble it and then stand it up. I said, well, that makes no sense, doesn't it? You wonder why church don't make sense to you. You haven't read the instructions. When you read them, you'll find out that you are preparing for where you are going and not where you are right now. The Israelites had spent about 11 months in the shadow of Mount Sinai. Then in the second year after their departure from Egypt, the cloud lifted from the tabernacle and the Israelites set out for the promised land. the ark of the covenant went before them, and the cloud of the Lord hovered over them.
Yeah.
During this time, Moses encountered several discouraging situations.
All right.
This part of his life reveals three main things, and I may not cover all three of them, that caused him discouragement. Defeating discouragement requires us to defeat three things: fatigue, falling out, and the fear that not knowing causes. Well, let's deal with fatigue. We as Christians all get discouraged from time to time. It was the same with Moses, so it ain't nothing new. The Bible said there's nothing new under the sun. The cloud leads Moses and the Israelites toward the wilderness of Paran, a region northeast of the Mount Sinai. Now, only 3 days after leaving Mount Sinai, people start complaining about the hardship.
All right.
This attitude of ingratitude caused the Lord to get angry with the people and consume some of the folks on the outskirts of the camp by fire. Well, I threw that in there to let you know that it's dangerous to be ungrateful for what you already have. If you want God to give you some more, you need to be thankful for what you already have. Well, let me put it like this. Let me borrow a few phrases from B.B. King. I think y'all all familiar with B.B. King. Great blues singer. B.B. put a song out. He was talking about this woman he was with and how ungrateful she was. He said, I gave you a brand new Ford. And she looked at him and said, I'm on a Cadillac. I let you live in my penthouse. And she said, thanks for the shack. I gave you 7 children. And now you're trying to give all of them back. Ungrateful. How do you think God feels when you're always complaining about what you don't have? You ever stop to think that if you were thankful for what you do have, He might give you some more?
There you go. Come on.
But you're so ungrateful till you complain about it should have been.
Yeah.
You got straight hair. It should have been wavy. You got kinky hair. It should have been easy to comb. Well, my mama had a remedy for the kinky hair called triple out clippers. I had a bald head the whole time I was growing up. She kept telling me though, if you will comb it, I won't cut it all off. One day I finally got tired of getting all my hair cut off, and I started combing. And I don't know, y'all don't know nothing about 77 Sunset Strip. That's what old picture. And there was a character on that named Cookie. Every time you saw Cookie, he would comb his hair. That's what I became, Cookie. I kept a comb. I keep a comb right now to this very day. Comb it all the time. Because I didn't want her to cut it all off. And when she said, boy, you learning how to take care of your hair. I'm going to send you to the barber shop. Yeah. I looked up and I said, thank you, Jesus. And I ain't really old. I'm just 39. But when I started going to the barber shop, you could get a haircut for a dime.
Okay.
When I got to be a teenager, it only cost a quarter. And when they started talking about $2.50 for a haircut, I started trying to learn how to cut my own hair. And I ain't gonna tell you what we're paying nowadays.
Yeah. $30.
Ungrateful. Well, let's see what the psalmist said when he got discouraged. David said in Psalm 103 and verse number 2, bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits. Some of y'all have forgot there's some benefits for worshiping and praising God that you can't get nowhere else. Benefits. Mama used to tell me, boy, don't grow up too fast because you ain't gonna never find a place like home. How many of y'all couldn't wait till you got grown? Then when you got grown, you start trying to erase numbers. You can't go back. One thing about it, time don't go back. Once you get grown, you grown. Well, when I got grown, the first thing I found out, I had to get a job. When I got a job, I found out that I had to be on time. Then I found out when I got there, I had to work like they told me to work. So here I was, thinking about it. And I went through some changes after I first left home. I went through some changes because I thought since I was calling myself grown, had a 55 3-speed Ford. Glass pack. Crank that Ford up, you can hear it all the way down the block. Back then, you can't double clutch these new cars. They got that electronic jump on. I had a carburetor on there. You could double clutch it. I had all of that going, and all of a sudden, being raised up in the church, come in from the club one Sunday morning, couldn't sleep, just couldn't go to sleep. Got to thinking about, here you are, broke again. Thought about something. You know, when I used to go to church, I always had a couple dollars. Always had a little something going on. Now look at it. Lord, forgive me. I'm going to church. Here I go, just left the club, went to church. Stood up on the back wall. First they tried to give me a seat. I said, no ma'am, I shouldn't even be here, but I just had to come. They started singing, oh, how I love Jesus. Well, I couldn't stay there. I had to leave. I said, well, I tell you what, I'm going to have to get out of here because I sure love the Lord, and if they keep singing that song, I'm going up there and take it from them. We have to remember that when things are not going well for us, that we still have to speak well of the Lord. Don't accuse the Lord of being unfair. When it's your fault, you're in the situation you are. David praised the Lord and focused on the good thing that God had done for him. You see, fatigue, you get tired sometimes. you get tired because every time you look around, somebody complaining. You know the old country western song say, play me another somebody that done me wrong song. That seems to be where we are today in our life. God was sending manna from heaven. And look what the Israelites were doing, complaining. We don't want this light bread. We want some biscuit. Cornbread. Nobody want this light bread.
Give me some.
But they were eating. We want to go back to Egypt. We had good food in Egypt. Yeah, but you were a slave. You couldn't go when you wanted. If you wasn't working like they said work, they were whipping you with a whip. Now here you are out here in the wilderness. You don't have to do nothing.
Come on now.
When you get ready to eat, you go outside with a basket and pick up the bread. And take it and eat it as much as you want. God said, well, since you're complaining about the light bread, I'll give you some meat to go with it. Quails came along. Now they got, not only do they got bread, but they got some meat to go with it. Some of you country folk know what I'm talking about. You ate a mini meal, all you had was bread, molasses, and fatback.
Come on, that's good too.
Notice I didn't say nothing about no bacon. I said fatback. There's a big difference. So bacon got a streak of lean and a streak of fat. Fatback is just fatback. There might be a little bitty strip. You can barely see it. But that's what we had to eat. You had eggs that if the chickens quit laying, you didn't have no eggs. So what you got to do to keep them chickens laying, you got to make sure that you keep that hen house tight so they can stay warm. And a happy chicken will lay eggs. When a chicken ain't happy, they won't lay no eggs. Well, sometimes we look around and we think about how we're doing. We just like the Israelites. You're living in a decent house. Ain't no holes in the wall. Ain't raining on your head. Y'all, some of y'all act like you done forgot where you come from. I don't know about you, but in our house, you had to, when it rained, you had to put a pot under the leak. When we lived in the old schoolhouse, I had to move my bed away from the wall because the rain would be dripping off the wall. Well, somebody said, you ain't living in no mansion now. Yeah, but what I'm living in now is a whole lot better than what I grew up in. At least I got running water in the house. I don't have to go outdoors to use the bathroom. I don't have to worry about cutting wood to get some heat. Just go over there and turn on the thermostat. Go in the kitchen, turn on the stove. Ain't got to make no fire in the stove no more. And yet, here we are complaining about what we don't have. You got more now than you deserve.
Amen.
And you ain't thankful for that.
Amen.
That's why I don't understand sometimes, Dr. Bassett, when some women are complaining about what their husband ain't doing. You blessed, you got a husband.
Amen.
A whole lot of folks wish they had one.
Amen.
And they some wish they had one good as yours. You better think about that next time you complain. God could have given you somebody a lot worse. But he gave you exactly what you need. Yes, there are times when we are discouraged. When we get discouraged, we have to understand that God don't send you nowhere without making provisions for you. He's prepared something for you when he sends you where you're going. Yes, when we read this passage in Numbers, we have to also understand that when the Spirit of the Lord is walking with you. You have to learn how to thank the Lord. No matter what's going on. How many of you are thankful in your time of sorrow? Thankful in your time of need. See, some of us, we don't want to thank God unless everything is going well. But let me tell you something. If you want some more blessing, learn how to thank Him when things ain't going so well. Well, I had to learn the hard way. Well, I'm going to tell you like this. When I got sick and had to go in the hospital, and I was in a whole lot of pain, I started complaining about how much pain I was in. But then I thought about it's good to be able to feel pain.
That's right.
That means I'm still alive.
That's right.
I'm still breathing. And there's a chance I get well. So Lord, I know you're a healer. Just give me something to help me bear this pain a little bit better. Yes, and when I start thinking along those lines and praying and saying, God, you've been good to me. If this is the end, then I can't complain. I have done what you told me to do. And if it's time for me to depart, well, I'm ready. I got a little more I would like to do. But if this is the end, I'm thankful for the opportunities that I have. God blessed when things got that way, He showed me how you can do better. And when He showed me how I could do better, He told me because you were thankful for the little bit, I'm going to give you a little bit more. Yes, we need to learn how to be thankful. They were not thankful for what God was doing for them, but yet God kept on blessing them. He said to Moses, Moses, don't you worry. They're not mad with you. They're mad at me. How many of y'all mad with God? Because of some tragedy that has happened in your life. How many of you are mad with Him? Because you feel like He done you wrong. Well, brother preacher, let me tell you something. Don't you get tired because you're dealing with hard-headed folks. I know. I've been dealing with them for 40 years. And I can tell you sometimes you just get tired. Say, I'm going to jack up my marbles and go on home. I ain't going back to that church no more. Next thing you know, Sunday morning roll around and somebody say, I thought you said you wasn't going back. Yeah, but I changed my mind. I serve a God that is able. Then we get discouraged because of fallouts. We fall out with folk. They fell out with Moses because he didn't marry the woman that they wanted him to marry. Instead of marrying what they consider a Jewish woman, he married an Ethiopian woman. They didn't understand that that Jewish and Ethiopia came from the same family. They were all descendants of Abraham. I don't think a lot of us understand Noah when he went into the ark. He had a son named Cush. And Cush is the father of Ethiopia. Not only that, but he's the father of the Cushites. And that was Noah's grandchildren and great-grandchildren. So we all part of the same family. I don't care what color you say you are. We all come from one blood. But when God created man, He didn't make one out of one kind of dust and somebody else out of another kind of dust. He made us all from the same dust. And we fall out with one another. You know what? Teeth and tongue have a disagreement. But they don't never fall out with one another. church folk, we ought not ever fall out with one another. Because we all serving the same God. We all trying to make it to the same place. What you ought to do, instead of falling out, you ought to reach out a hand and say, where I go, you going too. Because ain't nobody going to get left behind. We get discouraged because we just can't get along with somebody. Did you ever think it ain't about what they are doing? It's about what you are doing. The Bible said, treat folk like you want to be treated. If you want to be treated right, you need to treat folk right. If you don't want nobody talking about you, don't you talk about nobody. If you don't want nobody lying on you, you need to stop lying on folk. If you don't want nobody getting in your business, then you ought to stay out of other folks' business. Treat them the way you want to be treated, and everything will be all right. Don't fall out with folks so fast, and then finally, we are discouraged because of fear. We're afraid of the unknown. I want to tell you something, that the Spirit of the Lord will not lead you where the grace of God cannot keep you. If the Spirit of the Lord is leading you, He's going to already be provided a way for you. And all you got to do is just hold on a little while longer. You got to remember what the psalmist said. The psalmist said, weeping may endure for a night, but joy don't come in the morning. I don't know about you today, but I'm glad joy comes in the morning. I've gone to bed a midnight feeling down and in sorrow there. But when I woke up the next morning, I looked up and said, there's a brighter day ahead. Anybody in here today know that there is a brighter day ahead? You may be discouraged right now, but you just keep on believing in the true and living God. Keep on trusting in Him, and He will make a way for you. He'll make a way out of no way. The reason I know He will, He died out on Calvary Hill. He died to save a wretch like you and me. Went up that hill one Friday morning, gave His hands to the nail. Let her put ribbons in His feet. Let her pierce Him in His side. Hung His head in the locks of His shoulder. He died just to save a wretch like you. He died to save a son like me. Went down in the valley tomb. They left me long days. All night Friday night. All day long Saturday. All night Saturday night. All power in His hands. Do you know He got all power? Yeah. Do you know He got all power? Won't He fix this for you? When things are going wrong, when things are going bad,